Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to take a look at Sorare MLB, which I believe was just a thing halfway through last season, or maybe even later than halfway through the last MLB season. So this is basically their first full season. Seems like they're basically starting from scratch here with most of this stuff. So we can take a look in this one of how to build out your common team, which I haven't even done, so we're going to be learning together on this one, and then we're going to take a look at some limited cards here and how to build up your limited lineup as well for MLB. If we can get good prices here for limited, you can use these players for the entire season. So that's what we're going to be trying to do in this one. So stick around. Also, if you're in the NBA So Rare community, subscribe. I'm going to put out a video later today on game week 44 or whatever it is for NBA. So if you're not signed up for So Rare at all, you can sign up for the MLB and get these free players. You're also going to get 20 free NBA cards, so you could play for free in NBA and MLB. And then if you buy 5 limited on auction or manager sales, you're going to get a 6th one for free as well. So use my link in the description and also in the pinned comment to get in there with MLB and NBA and football, which is actually soccer as well. If you are coming over from Dapper, you can trade Flow NFTs on Evaluate XYZ. It's pretty cool with Top Shot all day. UFC Strike, even Jolly Jokers. And there's always people online to trade with. It's pretty cool, so check them out. They'll be linked down below as well. So for MLB, let's just jump right into this. We're going to draft a team here. So basically how this works, select your 10-player squad. Within a 120-point team budget, you can draft up to 5 players from the same team. Let's do it. We got 120 points. We can get 10 players here. I guess I can't enter this because I don't have any of the cards. So look what we are going to need. So you need 7 players. Starting, relief, corner, infield, middle infield, outfielder, extra, flex. Okay, so corner, I guess that's first and third. Middle, second, short. Extra, can you use a pitcher as an extra and a pitcher as flex? I don't know. So that's a question that is still up in the air. But I think I'm going to go with 2 starting pitchers, 1 relief pitcher, and then the rest fill out my lineup. So we got 120 to work with. I don't know MLB players that well, to be honest. So I'm going to use this site, Fantasy Pros, to see what we got. So let's see what they rank the top starting pitchers as. Corbin Burns is going to be there first. Garrett Cole, Ohtani. So does Ohtani get pitching and hitting stats? Is another question. So it's not that important in the draft because you can't win that much with commons, honestly. But I don't see that guy they're talking about. Corbin Burns here, 18. I think the Brewers are good, so another strategy is to get players that are going to be in the playoffs for when that comes, but that's a long ways away. Let's just look at let's take Corbin Burns here. He's the highest ranked on Fantasy Pros, and he's 2 less than the top guys. Oh, I guess they force you to take 3 starting pitchers, so I got to take 3. That took a lot of points there. Let's look at maybe we can get someone, if we can get them, 10 or under here. Marcus Stroman's a starting pitcher now? I didn't know that. He's usually, I think he's good, so I'm not going to look up all these guys. I thought Stroman was like a closer, but maybe he changed. Let's get a guy from a good team, the Yankees. Johnny Cueto's on the Marlins. Okay, relief pitcher, we just need 1. Obviously, we want a guy who's a closer, not like a middle reliever. Do I know any closers in the MLB right now? Can't say I do. Okay, so I'm going to come to Fantasy Pros and look at relief pitchers and get a guy in the late 20s here. So Craig Kimbrel, let's see what his price is. 15. We'll take Kimbrel here. Okay, now we got corner infielders, and we just have 10.5 on average to work with. So Eric Hosmer, I've heard of him. We'll go with Hosmer. Oh, Nelson Cruz, corner infielder. Brandon Belt is on the Blue Jays? What the? I'll take Brandon Belt, though. Okay, now we still got 11 to work with. Brandon Crawford. I thought Crawford got traded, too. No, we still got Crawford, so I'm taking Crawford. Middle infielders, we gotta go value guy here. Corey Lee, he's a a catcher? Catchers count, I guess, as middle infielders. Let's take this guy. He's a second baseman. All right, outfielders. We got 13.5 to work with for our two outfielders. So I'm going to take a value guy and then a higher price guy. I'm going to go with Joey Gallo. Definitely heard of him. Now we got 18 to work with, so we can get a good player here. We could get Springer, Juan Soto. Let's do that. And submit. So this is my team. Went with a little stack. Soto, Nelson Cruz, I think is a good strategy here. So, yeah, that's my team. All right, then let's register for this game. So we're going to go Corbin Burns, obviously, then Krimble, Nelson Cruz, Crawford, Soto. In our extra spot, do we want Gallo or Belt? I guess we'll go Gallo. And then for our flex, so flex you can go pitcher. So I'll go pitcher and submit. So when trying to buy some stuff off of the market here, if you just want to go lowest ask, you're going to run into some big problems here because a lot of these guys are in the minor leagues, which is not ideal. So if we're just going to look at outfielders here, because another issue is picking up relief pitchers who are middle relievers that are probably not going to get a lot of points. So what we're going to do here is filter by outfielders, see lower price guys. So 110 is the low right now. Yadiel Hernandez, let's see him on Fantasy Pros. So he's ranked 218 in outfielders. I mean, I guess there's only like 90 starting outfielders, and he's in the minor leagues. So yeah, you got to be careful buying these guys. You can't just buy the floor and play it. Like some stuff like with the NBA, you can get more away with that, I guess, kind of. Just scroll down and see if I've heard of any of these guys. So Victor Robles, 128, basically the floor. I think I've heard of him. So let's look him up on Fantasy Pros. 134 ranking, not terrible, but outside of the top 90 for outfielders. So what I would do is then come to Nationals depth chart and see if he plays. So outfield, left field, so center field, he's listed at the top of the depth chart. Is he good though? But for $1.20, seems like a decent pickup. Wow, he's been in the league for 6 years, and last year he hit 224, played in 132 games. So I mean, that could be a decent pickup. He's not great, 33 RBIs, 6 home runs, but for $1.20 to get a starting player, it's pretty good. So if you really want cheap guys, you got to definitely do research. Otherwise, if you're just coming to Fantasy Pros and be like, I want a top 20 outfielder, look up Varsho here. We're going to have to pay a ton for someone like this, I would bet. So yeah, $20 is the cheapest here for Dalton Varsho, who I haven't heard of personally, but he's ranked in the top 20 on Fantasy Pros. So that's how I would build out lineups. I would say you're going to have to spend a lot of money to get 7 players in a limited, especially if you're going top 20 players. I guess for outfielders, you could maybe get away with like top 50, but for like first baseman, let's see how much a top 20 first baseman would be. Let's look at Miranda here. So you can get a top 20 first baseman here for $6. Not terrible. So building out this lineup wouldn't be the most expensive thing, and then you could just play it for the entire season. So I think you could get away with getting a pretty decent lineup if you just get a top 50 starting pitcher for your relief pitcher. I would say top 30, make sure you get, a closer. For outfielders, I think you can get away with getting 3 like top 60 guys. And then for, your middle infielders, look for a shortstop that's going to be top 20 shortstops. That's how I would be building out my MLB. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one on Sorare MLB. Again, if you haven't signed up, you get all these free cards. Just use my link down below. You can also play NBA and football. So if you enjoyed this, subscribe to the channel. Putting out an NBA video later today, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.